We'll talk now about analysing images, and obviously some of the suggestions that I've made here already have embedded in them a discussion of visual imagery and the way it supplements arguments and language that is used. I want to talk a little bit about some of the sources you can use to have these discussions with young people, particularly while they're working remotely. So again, comparing two news organisations and the kind of imagery that they use can be really useful. So I am filming this professional learning session on the day after the horrific crash that occurred in Melbourne this week. That crash has been spread over news media in somewhat different context. So some news organisations have used really evocative and disturbing images of the crash. Others have chosen not to. So again, comparing the reportage around that and the way that presents an explicit argument, I think can be really useful. I'm going to show you a couple of other websites now that can be useful for illustrating other concepts around the use of images. And I think for me, one of the most important things to think about with this question of imagery and the use of visual aids for argument is to think about what material is selected and what material is left out. So for me, infographics are really useful because they are powerful tools used in the prosecution of an argument, but often we as audiences and particularly young people have a blind spot when they think about that kind of data. They think that is the whole story as opposed to thinking about the way the data is presented or the way the data is initially selected. So let's look at a site called Information is Beautiful, which is a site that makes use of a range of infographics. So if you go to Information is Beautiful, you can have a look here at the presentation of a range of different concepts and data and work with young people around one or two of these infographics to think about what information is being selected, what information is being presented, and how. They also have a supplementary site, which is Beautiful News Daily. Again, the same kind of concept around unpacking infographics, unpacking what information is presented, why, how, etc. And how does this create or supplement an argument. One of the other most significant tools for communication is, of course, the caption associated with a visual image. So if you just Google New Yorker caption contest, you can work with young people around creating captions. There are also, as you can see on the screen here, a number of videos that have been produced by actors about the concept of creating a caption. So they can be fun and useful tools to have young people think about the power of a caption. It is indeed often something that young people don't analyse when they are discussing an image. So an exercise around the New Yorker caption contest could be really useful in terms of illustrating those concepts to young people. Logos are, of course, one of my favourite things to discuss with young people. What kind of ideas and ideologies that are communicated. A really useful tool on the ABC's YouTube channel is to look at an excerpt from Utopia. So this is up on the official channel, so it's fine for you to watch in terms of copyright. And there's a short discussion here, it's just a minute-long clip about the creation of a logo. So if you haven't ever watched Utopia, it's really about unpacking a lot of the issues around language and the bureaucracy as one of the core ideas. So this logo clip, which you can direct young people to, really distill some of those ideas down. So in terms of analysing images, there's a lot of rich work that can be done there to deepen young people's understanding of the way that images are used to supplement and prosecute arguments.